I remember in the movie Rudy, the climatic point was Rudy finally said, "I'm tired of people telling me what I can and I can't do." That's the type of inspiration that it took in my life that put a dream in my heart to play football at the University of Southern California. And I remember as I came to USC, I was walking on a campus just like a day like today, and here we are standing around Heritage Hall, and they said the coach's offices are upstairs, locker room's downstairs, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go up to the coach's office and see if I can play football, just out of the blue. So I walk into Coach Marv Goo's office. He's my defensive line coach. This guy was tough as nails. And I remember I saw him, he was watching film and he had his little pointer. And when I walked in, you would have thought I poured boiling hot oil on him. He got so mad. And I said, I want to play football for USC. And he looked at me, his eyes flames of fire, and he's going, "We just won the national championship last year. I've got 3 All-Americans on the defensive line. And you want to play for me? Who the blankety blank do you think you are?" And I was like, well, I just want a chance. He said, "Show up at 3 o'clock. So I walk onto the practice field and I feel like I'm in the land of the giants. I mean, these guys were huge. And I'm thinking I'm just going to ease into these drills and I'm not going to force my way being too cocky. And I'm sitting on the sideline kind of just waiting. Coach Goo had different ideas. He came up and grabbed me by my jersey, got up in my face with his nasty old coach breath. I was like, "Oh man, you need a Tic Tac." And, and all of a sudden, he said, "Get in that drill and don't blankety blank goof up." And I was shaking, I was sweating, and I started thinking about all of the things people told me that I could and I couldn't do. You'll never make it at SC. Nobody had ever walked on to USC football in 25 years on the defensive line. You'll never do it. All those thoughts started flooding my mind, and I'm running into the drill. Don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. I go against a guy that was 6'6". His name was Keith Van Horn. This guy was a giant. I like to say he was big enough to eat hay and dumb enough to enjoy it. He was a monster. Now, I wouldn't say that to his face. But you know what? I got in the drill, I got down in my stance. It is a one-on-one drill, big man on big man, see who's the biggest, the baddest, the strongest. I glanced in the backfield to see who I'd have to try and tackle. And it's a little running back. He went on to be a Heisman Trophy winner, Hall of Fame. His name was Marcus Allen. So here I'm going against 2 future Hall of Famers from the NFL, and it's my first day. It's not looking very good. And coach came up, he said, "You're either going to learn to love to hit or you're going to die." And I'm just listening to him, and I'm just like, man, I'm about shaking in my boots. I was so hyped up. And they snapped the ball, and the whole goal was I had to try and tackle the running back. And I got Keith, and I shoved him on his shoulder pads, grabbed him, and I threw him down to the inside, and I stepped over in the gap. I see Marcus Allen coming straight at me. My eyes got real big, and I started thinking, man, you're going to be a star. And wham, I hit him harder than I've ever hit anybody in my life. I buried my helmet so far into his chest, the helmet came down across the bridge of my nose. This was the first out of 9 times my nose was broken. And just boom, I felt something crack, blood dripping all over the place. And I wrapped him up, but when the blood hit and I felt that break, I lost my tackle. He spun off my tackle, went running downfield, and mockingly he's waving bye-bye. And I'm like, oh, I'm in a pile of dust, sweat, and blood, just bleeding on the field. Coach Goo comes running out, and he's laughing from his belly. He's, "Ha ha, welcome to the big leagues." I was humiliated. But you know what? I wanted that dream so bad. I jumped up. I looked him straight in the eye. I said, "Coach, you're either going to have to kill me or you're going to kick me off this team, but I'm not giving up." And see, it was that drive. Not only did I make the team, but by my senior year, I was one of the defensive team captains with Marcus Allen, Ronnie Lott, some great ball players. Nobody had walked on the defensive line in 25 years. It was literally a miracle that I even made the team, but let alone by my senior year as a defensive team captain. The champions are not those that never fail, they're those that never quit. There was a lot of times I felt like giving up and quitting. There's a lot of times I felt like I was getting the runaround. I had to visit that coach's office 30 times before they finally let me on that field. They wanted to see what I was made of and how determined I really was. Talent can't take you where your character won't keep you. See, if I didn't have the character, the internal fortitude, a dream, destiny, faith, if I didn't have that drive on the inside, I would have quit long, long, long ago. And As I walked on the field today and I saw the practice field, I remembered that's where it happened. That's where it all took place. And because of that one day, looking at Coach and I say, you can kill me, you can kick me off the team, but I'm not going to quit. That turned my life on a new course. It opened up doors that I never dreamed possible. I've been to countries all around the world. I've met people that are just in the entertainment field, the sports field, that are presidents. I mean, just incredible things have happened. And it's all because of that one day, that determination that said, I'm not going to quit. Live your dreams. Dream big. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody slow you down. Never let somebody else create your world for you because they'll create it too small. You know, as I travel around the world with the power team, I do feats of strength and bend steel, break bricks. I go to some of the worst schools in America, and I see these guys that live for their gangs. And you know what they've done? They've let somebody else create their world for them. Champions are not those that never fail, they're those that never quit. It's always too soon to quit. And it just, I mean, that day they called me out to be the team captain. Man, I had goosebumps on my arms. Here I was, a walk-on. Hardly ever played. But you know what? The motivation, the inspiration that I gave the rest of the team, they said, we want this man to be our team captain. That made my day. And I forgot about all the pain, all the broken noses. It was worth the fight. Pay the price of greatness. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. All right.